Well, Davos 2023 में हम लगातार आपके लिए बहुत सारी वॉइसेस यहाँ से लेकर आ रहे हैं. The kind of mood and the setup is, and when we look at India here, किस तरीके का expectation है? Well, इस वक्त मेरे साथ PwC के चेयरमैन संजीव कृष्णन जुड़ रहे हैं. Lovely to have you. पहले तो this Davos, clearly India is at the center stage और कई बार से हम देख रहे हैं कि इंडिया की importance and relevance बढ़ती जा रही है. इस बार क्या biggest takeaway है if we look at it from the India standpoint?
एक तो आप you go on the promenade, there are six stalls for India, 3 for India and 3 other states were presenting themselves, so that actually shows you relevance कितना ज़्यादा है इस वक्त इंडिया का. And we keep talking about that India is the place to invest. There are so many states which are actually here because they want to attract investors. We talk about competitive federalism. इससे ज़्यादा कुछ अच्छा example नहीं मिल सकता आपको, जबकि 3 states are vying for investments. We have Maharashtra, we have Telangana, we have Tamil Nadu, etc. And of course, India का इतना focus है, MSME का focus है, inclusivity का focus है, and of course, Invest India is here. So I think it's all over. See, I mean, world over, if you look at it, if you speak to people around, everybody is looking to reorganize their supply chains.
Right.
And उसके अंदर इंडिया का एक बड़ा component होने वाला है in times to come. Already people are thinking about how they need to get move beyond Europe, beyond China. And I think उन सब के अंदर इंडिया का एक बहुत बड़ा रोल है. हमारे पास opportunity है अगले 2-3 साल to take that position. Many things जो हमारे हो रहे हैं, चाहे वो production linked incentives वगैरह हैं, जो which are available right now, or indeed are huge demographics,
okay,
which can
but
enable.
some of the red flags जो इंडिया में अभी भी हमें दिख रहे हैं, और because globally situation थोड़ी volatile है, तो उसका क्या effect हो सकता है that can come in the way of the India's growth story?
Yeah, I mean, one would have thought the same thing applied in 22 as well. But Huani, we found a way. Some people might say that we bought cheap Russian oil and that's how we managed, but it's not like that. I mean, I think we have managed to find a way in most situations.
Sure.
See, there is always going to be challenges of inflation, the volatility, macroeconomic volatility. People will talk about climate change, the cost of climate change, etc., etc. There is always going to be a lot of that. But, today, if you look at it, which government today has the ability, which country has the ability to continue to spend money? Where is the capex revival happening? The potential of capex revival, you can see them in the bank lending, which is going up in India at the moment. That, India has the ability to take. Our budget estimates, they are running ahead. So we are collecting more. So there is more money that we have at this point in time to spend. And I think we will be in a good fiscal position also. In 2.5 weeks' time, we'll know. On the budget, I'm sure we will be in a decent fiscal position. I think we're managing that part as well. So the ability to finance, the ability to encourage industry, the ability to encourage your services sector, I think is all there. Okay. So I do see a lot of positives.
Okay, but India growth story में सबसे ज़्यादा promising sector कौन सा लग रहा है? इस वक्त अगर हम इंडिया को represent कर रहे हैं तो कौन से top 2 sectors हैं जो सबसे ज़्यादा attractive है for investors to look at?
See, one of course has to be the whole focus on manufacturing because there is the government has
China plus one.
Yeah, has been.
Conversation.
Well, I won't say China plus one. It could be any plus one because
India definitely यहाँ पर एक role play कर सकता है.
Definitely, I think that's definitely the case, and it is not just because of PLI, but I think everything, including things like Gati Shakti. I mean, logistics cost is a big factor which always comes in, etc. Something like Gati Shakti will hopefully reduce that logistics, warehousing costs, etc. Get alignment, right, and use technology in some way. So I think that's one sector. I think the second one, which I am very, very sanguine about, is the largely our infrastructure piece, because every state is focusing on developing their own infrastructure at this point in time, and India has the ability, roads, ports, etc. And there are private capitalists coming in hordes in that segment.
Sure.
So I would say infra. Private equity investors, REITs, InvITs आप इतने देखें इतने हो रहे हैं mature assets के अंदर. So I think that's that segment,
right.
And the infrastructure and manufacturing, ये 2 segments मुझे बड़े अच्छे लग रहे हैं.
Okay. और इंडिया की जो कैपिटल मार्केट स्टोरी है, और आई थिंक वो एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग हमने ट्रेंड्स देखे हैं. ग्लोबल से भी अब हम एक तरह से इफेक्ट इतना नहीं होता है, हमारी अपनी स्टोरी पे हम खड़े होकर दिखा रहे हैं बहुत समय से. सो when you talk of the funds or FIIs inflows into the system, वहाँ पर हमने थोड़ा pull back देखा, but DIs participated. Now going forward 23 में किस तरीके के कैपिटल इन्फ्लोज हम एक्सपेक्ट करें, कहाँ से पैसा आएगा?
एक तो आपने जो बोला, हम सभी लोग इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं मार्केट्स के अंदर. सो डोमेस्टिक इन्वेस्टर्स हैव बीन होल्डिंग द फोर्ट, ऑल द मोर सो. I don't see that even for FIIs, particularly with India getting more and more relevant in the globe, they will have many more options. Where will the money go? The short-term money, it won't go to China, it won't go to Russia. A large part of that will come back to India over a period of time.
Right.
As people, of course, China next 3 months we'll have to see as to what happens. Maybe some money will go there eventually, but I do believe India will have its place. And then, of course, the India's burgeoning middle class. And I mean, if you look at it, we're saying that 67% of India's consumption in 5 years' time is going to be from the high income category and the middle income category.
Middle income definitely यहाँ पर एक promising दिख रहा है.
And they will continue to, as savings and the proportion of savings and investment will make sure that there is a lot of money which comes into the market as well. So we are not really dependent on them for where the market is going.
Okay, so clearly यहाँ पर भी optimism है, positivity है, and let's see how India will play this to their advantage.
No,
all right.
absolutely,
Thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you, Swati. Thank you.